as communities continue processing the tragic death of 14-year-old Cyrus and asking difficult questions about safety, responsibility, and what happens when systems fail to intervene before harm occurs. Today isn't about assigning blame where facts are still emerging. It's about examining a larger pattern, why families are so often asked to wait while consequences are immediate. Why is urgency expected from schools and students and families, but patience expected when systems fall short? And what happens when trust runs out? Let's talk about it. Welcome back to an episode of Black versus the Board of Education.
Baby.
We in here, yeah, we in here, 'cause we been.
Y'all better get comfortable with saying black.
We in here, yeah, we in here.
Black versus the Board of Education.
Cause we been here, rid of us now. We in here, yeah, we in here. Cause we been here, rid of us now. And you know that we don't ever go, so you do what you want.
That's why we are indeed a whole mood.
That's it.
Welcome to another episode of Black versus the Board of Education. Hello, my name is Miss Laureen, and I'm the captain of the ship. And you've already heard from Melissa at the top of the hour, but we'll go back around and get some introductions while we're about to get the party started. And I have to tell y'all, I have to be honest, my spirit is a little vexed today. There's too much going on, not enough accountability. There's a lot of, oh, well, he shoulda, woulda, coulda, while they're putting the responsibility on the child to remain calm and act professional when three adults are chasing them from a convenience store when you know you haven't taken anything, to the Black defense attorney who is trying to make fetch happen. And so before we get into it, we are talking about stop asking parents to be patient. I'm going to go around and let you know who's in the building. Hey, Miss Tawana, and then we'll get the conversation started. So I'm going to start right here.
Everybody doing? My name is Mr. Fox, Black Youth Leadership Project, Time Done Advocate.
Well, welcome back, Mr. Fox.
Coordinator.
We're going to go to Miss Patrice on the screen. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, my peoples. Patrice Hill, a lover of Black children, a Black mother, somebody doing work in the community, and doesn't like when we got to check folks all the time about the ways that they treat Black children.
Girl. Right over here. Hey, girl.
Hi, everyone. My name is Melissa. I'm an incoming junior to UC Berkeley and very interested in today's conversation.
And we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. Hey, I'm Coco, a poet, an activist in the community, and just ready to talk everything Black and try to uplift my sister's spirits just a little bit as we get through this conversation.
Well, I mean, and really, my spirits are cool. It's just I get agitated when we expect children to respond as adults would.
Yeah.
I get agitated when we put adult characteristics on little boys, and we want to refer to them as men to make something that we did wrong, make there be a living excuse as to why this happened.
Yeah.
And I don't sit normally and watch television, but I have been seeing some of the clips that have been circulating, especially on Facebook. And I have to tell you, I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted at the constant way that our children have to beg for humanity. And I'm troubled. I'm troubled.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then to see, I mean, the defense attorney is doing his job. That's what he gets paid for. But at some point, it's like, come on, bro. How you have a kid go into a store? They ask him to put his backpack down, which tells me he was coming from school. He puts his backpack down.
Yeah.
No back talk, no nothing. They proceed to follow him around the store. He picks up 4 bottles of water, and he puts back 4 bottles of water.
Yeah.
And proceeds to walk out the store. Now, why he walked out? First of all, I wouldn't spend my money any place where somebody's following me around a store.
Right.
But he walks out. He's calm. Nothing to see here. Just walk out and then turn around, and 3 adults are chasing him. What?
Why?
I don't understand.
Why?
One of the things that kind of strikes me is that you said he had to put his backpack down, and I've been in like small convenience stores or gas stations where they will ask you to put your
Especially
bag down.
coming from school. They
yeah,
do.
absolutely. And I understand that you usually put it at the front where someone is watching your bag.
And he does.
So does that mean that they also watched him grab his bag? Because if they wanted to confront him or ask him about stealing something,
They said he put it in his hoodie, allegedly.
Why would they not ask him when they hand him the backpack back then? Why would
he
they
puts
wait?
it on like a stool or something that's up by some part of the store. But the fact of the matter is this woman follows him around the store the whole time.
So clearly that you saw that he put it back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
And then not only that, they have this little they have multiple cameras inside the store.
Yes.
They have a camera right by the front of the store. And then normally when people steal from this store, they put them on a wall of shame. This 14-year-old did not get put on the wall of shame. He got put on the ground to his death. And I don't understand why. Especially in the comments, you will see the idiots talking about, well, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. What game did he play because he did not steal anything?
Right.
The fact that we look at somebody whose life was taken, and we talk so callously about it, and this dude, is sitting up in the courtroom and he's smirking like he's gonna get away with it.
Yeah.
And the other part that I have a problem with is there were no lesser included charges. So if they don't prove murder, this dude walks. And murder in South Carolina, my understanding is there's no degrees of murder. It's just one definition for murder. And it's done with malicious intent. If they cannot prove that he did it with malicious intent, this dude walks. There's no manslaughter, no involuntary manslaughter.
And it sounds very malicious.
It does sound, but you have to prove that.
Yet you chasing him out the store, 3 of you.
And he was shot in the back.
And you can't, how would they claim self-defense if he was shot in the back?
Well, they did claim self-defense. They said he turned around and pointed a gun at him.
And there was no gun found.
No, there was a gun found. So apparently nobody knew it, but he was carrying a gun.
But they
allegedly.
didn't know it at the time, so that wasn't a factor.
That was not a factor.
Yeah.
But they found out after the fact, and they're making this part of their self-defense.
Because they found the gun on him.
But if he was shot from the back, he wasn't.
How he pointing a gun at you?
If he was
okay,
and if he's walking out of the store,
So they chased him about 130 yards. He fell. They're saying that's how things could have fallen out of his pocket, meaning a gun or whatever. There were 2 cell phones that fell. He lost his shoe. Like, I'm thinking this kid was terrified.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get away from people.
Yeah. If you run up out your shoes.
Listen, I've been at many of an event where one person starts running.
Girl, I'm taking off.
What happens?
We start
getting up out of there. We're going to ask questions later.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why would it be any different if somebody is chasing me or running that I would not run?
And I see 3 men chasing me.
It's two men and one woman. They were talking about getting to this one alleged shoplifter and they left their store unattended.
Right.
These people.
Oh my gosh.
But when you listen to the media, Black folks are the number one culprits for doing things to everybody. Black folks became the face of COVID, became the face of hate towards the Asian community. Black folks became all things wrong with society. And this was an Asian store. They took his life and they said it's very reminiscent of the 1991 Latasha Harlan situation.
It reminds me a lot of that. It's very similar.
And it's over. One was over orange juice. The other was over
water bottle.
A $1 bottle of water. Somebody's life snuffed out over some damn water.
And then you leave your store unattended. You leave your store, and I've been seeing so much anti-Blackness regarding these like instances of just brutality and just perceived images of criminality before you can even, I just feel like Black children are not allowed to make any type of mistakes. And regardless of where someone stands on the legal side of the case, a 14-year-old child is dead. And we should never become so desensitized to violence that we lose sight of that reality. children deserve the opportunity to make mistakes, to learn, to
Right.
grow, and to come home. You know, childhood shouldn't be a death sentence.
I don't think that they desensitized towards violence. They desensitized towards the type of violence that we talking about right now. Desensitized towards seeing a little black boy on the ground. It's horrible if it was Timmy. It's one of mine, and it's not so horrible. And the reason why it's not so horrible because of the same society that owns the production companies that do newscasting and things like that. You're already used to seeing slaves beating all that as y'all done that. Y'all whooped us out. No disrespect to the sister, you know, Tasha. But I see something different than this between her and him, even though it is reminiscent. The difference is orange juice, you squeeze it, you got to go on somebody's property. It's oranges, you know, it's a process with this orange juice stuff. It costs something. I'm a child of the 80s. I was born in 1982. I grew up drinking out of water hoses. I'm talking about my water hose, the water hose across the street.
Yeah.
When I was down the street, if I got thirsty, I drank out their water hose too. And other people left their water hoses on just for you walking down the street, they'll give it to you. You want water? You know, you drink your water up. And we used to also tear off the thing off the fire hydrants, play in the water.
Who did that?
The community.
I've never seen that happen.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
I'm with you, Fox. Yeah, for sure. My pops used to pop that off in Meadowview, and we would be out there playing in the water and the fire hydrant for a good hour or two before they come and close it.
Okay.
They're closing it,
And then the
and we know it was
we'll
over.
pop it over.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yes, I do remember them hot summers in Sacramento.
Yeah. And we had the water right here. So for me to know that an adult thought it upon themselves.
3.
One was bad enough, but 3. The 2 didn't stop the 1, and they for them to think that this boy who I'm gonna use this word comply because that's what we do a lot by taking my backpack off in your store.
I've
First
already
of all,
complied.
I've complied. I've already said something ain't right up in here.
Yeah.
Whatever I felt in your store, whether it was good energy or bad energy, I decided to leave your store. Whether I was going to do something or I was not going to do something, I left your store with what I came in here with, my backpack.
Right.
Which clearly, looking at the way the operation was going on, you clearly had to. You clearly must have known nothing was in that backpack because you allowed him to have the backpack back, and you decided as a gang. That's what the definition of a gang is. The definition of a gang.
Say it.
Mob mentality.
Tell them.
You know, that's what the actual definition is.
Yes.
If we look it up.
Yes. 3 or more.
3 or more.
And Melissa said, I'm going to look it up.
Go on, look it up.
Yeah,
Because that's
3 or
exactly
more.
what this is.
Because that's what they would say if they see 3 black boys walking down the street.
That's what they defined us as.
They
That's
would
the
say
same
they are in
definition.
a gang.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Have decided
Fox.
we don't like this person having this item. And the item that we're talking about, again, no other story has said anything different. And that's the difference between, not to say the sister decided it was her life was any less worthy because it was orange juice, but this is a step down. This is water. The item we're talking about is water. It belongs to everybody. And we go in meetings where they do land rights and say, hey, you got to respect the water that comes through the stuff and the trees, and the water belongs to everybody.
Yeah.
And you decided that not only are we going to approach him and harass him, but we're going to scare this child. So now this child is running, and none of us are running behind him saying, hey, no, don't run. Wait, we're not trying to scare you. Wait, come here. He's scared. He's a kid. It's a kid. Stop. It's a kid. Nobody decided to say, stop. Wait, this is a kid we scared. Instead, we decided to say, oh, my God, this kid that we're chasing, we may or may not have pulled something out of his pocket, which I doubt he did. But if he did, what if, I'm not condoning gun violence or anything, but if he did pull something out of his pocket, what would be the mindset of somebody being chased down the street with 3 people chasing them, and I'm a kid and I have a backpack, and I'm just trying to get home anyway, and I don't want nothing to do with this, and I'm already running.
Yeah.
What would be the mindset of somebody that whipped a weapon out of them? Maybe to protect themselves.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they actually made guns for. But the assailants, grown-ups, who's running behind and decide you're so fast I just can't even catch you. It's just, oh my God, this water. You're not even worthy of water. Stuff that we go out and pass out to the homeless like there ain't no tomorrow. You're not even worthy of this water, and I'm gonna shoot you in the back. Boom. Somebody's child, somebody's baby, and then I'm going to get back up and consider myself a citizen of this society, a perfect human being, and I'm gonna need my friends to come out and tell the world how much of a good guy I am. Come stand next to me and show that. Don't Don't say that. Don't say that you don't have morals and say I'm a bad guy. Say I'm a good guy, and let me smile. Let me take no empathy. Let me take no accountability. Let me not apologize to this family. Let me not apologize to this community who I have brought this crime upon. The ripple effect of it. Let me
In
smile.
the community that supports your store.
How about that?
Right.
The community that's bringing money into your store.
Mhm.
This water is nothing compared to how much my community brings into your store on a daily, and break it down probably hourly. This is this boy's community that you have came in and set up shop to take care of your family.
And let's not act like, because when he put the bottles back, we can't act like these stores don't overprice their stuff. Because I've walked into gas stations and convenience stores that are small businesses that have to up their prices to pay for itself.
Well, not only that, to pay for the things that actually have been taken.
Yes, that's understandable too. So he could have looked at the price and put it back, like many people in that store more than likely have before, and they just decided to pick him out.
Yeah,
ask
or
y'all
you
a
could
bigger
have put it
question.
back because you're following me, and
How
I
much-
was gonna buy
Right.
these waters, but now
I'm
you're following
uncomfortable.
me.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm
and I'm gonna
uncomfortable.
leave your store.
Yeah.
How much water do you waste a day? Just when I'm about to wash my hands. I'm about to wash my hands. Let me turn the water on.
Even the water that comes in the water bottles when you
Right.
give it an event.
I'll be thinking like
People
that's the
waste it all
backwash
the
out the
time.
water. But to know that it's not even a funny matter amongst each other. You telling me my young brother's life was less
Valuable than water.
valuable than the water,
In the water bottle.
and there's no public. It's not even allowed to have a public outrage about that. And then to hear stuff like we saying here, we go to these places and they say, "Well, what's wrong? I don't understand. You guys are upset, and then we keep saying, "Well, how much more?" I mean, this is the way you shot him. This ain't no different than the same way we was talking about this 3, 4, 5 years ago with the police shooting people in the back. Y'all thought it was a cell phone. Y'all thought it was something, and you shot him. There's no way you can justify this from the start to the end. The only thing that you could say that you did, maybe you had the right to do as a store owner, maybe is, hey, maybe you thinking somebody stole something, kid took his backpack off. The moment he took that off, your friendly side should have kicked in and say, "Hey, thank you, sir. I'm just trying to protect stuff in my store and keep the line moving." We working with y'all as a community, but how can we continue to work with adults in our communities when the adults are hurting the very nature of our next generation coming up? We're watching you hurt the very next generation that we're educating and trying to raise up to be the ones to protect us.
Yeah.
You'll gaslight me to my face and hurt our babies behind our back, and then to come to the table and say, "Hey, we're a community organization with you guys. We want to partner with you."
But where's the accountability? So I just pulled it up, and it says a South Carolina convenience store owner who fatally shot a 14-year-old in the back after falsely accusing him of stealing was involved in at least 2 prior altercations in which he confronted people he suspected of shoplifting.
I was going to ask
and
you
then
about that. Okay.
opened fire, authorities said.
Oh.
As the owner, Rick Chow, remained in jail awaiting a bond hearing in the death of Cyrus Carmack Belton, the Richland County Sheriff's Department on Wednesday revealed it had received numerous calls about trouble at the Express Mart Shell gas station. In one incident in 2015, Chow fired 6 times at a car after he tried to stop someone he suspected of shoplifting, it said. 3 years later, he shot a man in the leg, a department spokesperson, Veronica Hill, said. Chow's conduct in both cases did not meet the requirements under South Carolina law to support criminal charges. She said, adding authorities made that determination because he wasn't the instigator in either incident.
Oh, so you could just shoot
he's
people
been
in South Carolina.
He's been doing this.
Yeah.
And this community is one of the largest African American populations communities.
Why is the store still open?
And I bet it's a food
Because-
desert.
It
It's
probably
probably
is.
the only store in the community.
This stuff be going on because of the very nature of who you are, what you do, Melissa. That's going on because of the laws and stuff that's out there. The advocating, the policies. Yes, we have large areas of where African Americans, blacks, us as black people live, but have our laws changed? And in place,
Well, if you go back to historically when Asians started coming into the Black communities and they're able to get the liquor stores and they're able to do things like that, if we can just take it to Centers real fast, why he had the Asian people, it was showing on the history of how Asian people were coming into our communities, able to get liquor stores, able to be able to do these things. And so to see this now, like it's in South Carolina in a large Black African American community, we still see this playing out over years.
Moving it on.
We got to relate this directly to capitalism and white supremacy. This is about
absolutely.
being able to get loans to open these businesses. This is about being able to get a liquor license to sell alcohol in these communities. And this is about like what responsibilities do businesses have to communities that sustain them? Like what happens when we say enough is enough and we are not going to support communities that profile, discriminate, use excessive force or unequal treatment against the very community that is keeping your store afloat and alive? Like we have to think about the ways that our communities are constantly targeted for beauty supplies, liquor stores, smoke shops, in food deserts. Why are liquor stores allowed to obtain liquor licenses in communities where there are no grocery stores? So like this is continuously related to, to institutionalized racism and white supremacy. And we get layers and layers and layers. By the time we walk into the liquor store, we've already crossed into how many intersections of systemic oppression, from the foundation of the liquor store being in the community, the access to loans to get the liquor store, the access to getting the liquor license, and the ways that this liquor store might be the only source of food or grocery in a community. Like it's so many layers. And then when we get to like the discrimination and the brutality and the murder, right? Because
the sanctioned murder, the okayed murder,
because Black children are not allowed to exist freely. We look at the they're being dehumanized right before our eyes. So this child cannot go in the store and simply buy water and put it back and go about his day. He's perceived as a criminal. Just, you know what I mean? It's so many layers of
he was perceived as a criminal before he touched the water.
Yes,
exactly.
So we have to be honest enough to have that conversation. And because we're having the conversation, first of all, I don't want it to be misinterpreted that we are being divisive or that we are hating one community over another. That is not. Holding people accountable means that we can have conversations like this and we can talk about the nuances and still love our brother and sister.
Absolutely.
But we can call them out about their bull crap too.
Right.
And we have to be okay with that.
Right. And we have to talk about how Black children are perceived as they're going throughout the day, as they're going throughout these places. How are they perceived as they walk into liquor stores, as they come to schools? We have to change the perception of how our Black kids are seen.
Right. And then what I noticed on the 911 call that was placed the day that they shot this child in the back, they called him a kid. The son called him a kid, right? On the stand, he called him a young man. And that's intentional.
Oh, absolutely.
We want to adultify him to make it to justify our conduct towards him.
Yes.
And that is a baby. That was somebody's baby. That was somebody's child. Did he have a loaded arm? Allegedly, he did. You didn't know that.
Yes. Because
that
he
was
didn't
not a
point it
factor.
at you. That was not a factor.
Because if you knew it, you wouldn't have took off running after him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Can we be clear?
Yes. If they would have known he had a gun, they would not have. And why did, not that it matters, but if only one of the people in the convenience store, like one of the owners or whoever, had a gun, why did all three of them run? What am I going to do unarmed against someone else who I'm also assuming
I don't know.
And how
sounds like a lynch mob to me.
They didn't know he was
a
armed.
gang.
I know. I'm just saying
they were a gang.
That gang got off on
and a lynch mob.
They're like, there's no way this Negro is going.
No, I know.
And how long steal from us?
How long have they been harassing him on top of that? As he been coming into this store? How long? Because you already, you read his record, right? Because they would say the young boy would have had a record. So we read his record, the guy. So how long have y'all been harassing our kids if they've been coming in the store?
Yeah. And I think that's a fair question.
How long have you been getting away with placing false reports
Yeah.
on our boys, because you got to have an attitude with them before they come. And then me knowing our culture and our boys, sometimes it's hard, even as a grown man, to accept some of the stuff that goes on in the store. I too would have put the 4 bottles back, but
Yeah.
sometimes some of us ain't so vocal about putting them 4 bottles back. Ain't so silent about like, hey, bro,
What
what's
you
up?
say about my mama?
What you look at exactly
Right. That's exactly
that
what I
happens.
thought.
But and when we don't,
What you say
and the
about
messed
my
up part
mama?
in a boy's mind is this: some boys are growing up with the aspect of, if I don't say something back, I'm a punk. But if I don't, but so I
But
have
he
to
did say
say something.
something.
But
He's-
sometimes they want to be. Sometimes a boy doesn't want to be in trouble. Actually, I don't want this situation. I didn't want you following me. I don't want to even ask you why.
Right.
And I'm walking away, feeling a little bit defeated. But I'm doing all that because I don't even want this problem. And now that I don't want this problem, and I didn't say nothing back, and I just put your water back, and I didn't ask you why you following me, the person doing the following smells blood in the water. And because I didn't say, hey, stop following me, now they want to be like, get up out of my store. Yeah, you see me. You wouldn't be saying none of that if I would have turned around and bucked up at you like
Yeah, they like to
my
capitalize off
mentality
of the
told
fear.
me to. But what if I'm not that brother?
Mhm.
I'm still a good brother. I just don't want to be fighting by no water. Like, why should I have to do that? In going through that, and I heard what you said, and I heard what you said, Patrice, and I hear what you said, and when I heard y'all say that, I had this thought. We always say we need to change the perception of how they view us.
Yeah.
And then I had a thought of that. Every time when our kids are doing something, I heard, as case for example, this word fatback came out. And you would catch kids saying, fatback. And when it was a black
Big
kid,
back.
big back. And guess what we was doing? Don't do that. So don't do
That's
don't,
not
so,
nice.
that's not
Mhm.
nice, this and that and the other. I'm wondering what other counterparts are saying when they children are saying N-word. Are you at home telling them that?
No.
Because for a child to go from 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and your hatred of me is just growing and growing and growing, that means you're learning that at home. And I'm trying to change the perception of me in society of you when you've grown up and all you've heard all your life and they telling them that at home.
Right.
Yeah, they are.
For them to have such a deep level of it
And,
as
what he said to them, they told him, "What's in your backpack?" Or "What's in your hands?" or something. He's like, "I don't have anything, bruh." That's what he said, and he walked out. And they proceeded to chase him. And the reason I thought about this story when I read the headline, "Stop asking parents to wait." It's been 3 years since they shot this baby in the back. I can just about imagine the struggle that the parents are feeling.
Yes.
Having to relive that moment 3 years ago. Justice delayed is justice denied,
Yes.
right?
this kid got caught 3 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
And
hit
the
like
trial
this.
is now.
I didn't
Yeah.
even know
And
that
the trial is
that-
now.
that-
Yeah,
that
trial
hit
is
that far
now.
ago.
Yes, it's
And
recent,
he's
but-
been able to be at home and everything through this time while he's waiting.
I don't know. That part I don't know. I thought I read something that he was awaiting sentencing bail. I don't know.
Okay.
But what I will say is that 3 years is a long time to have to live with the fact that your baby is not coming home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
3 years is a long time to deal with that and then hear it brought up and your son be blamed for his own death.
Like you
Mhm.
start to heal. I mean, as much as you can heal, and you get 3 years
It's
in,
like an
and
open
then
wound.
yeah,
Yeah.
you have to
Rip
reopen
that
that.
Band-Aid off over and over again.
Yeah.
And then it became reminiscent to me of the work that we do in the schools. And it's reminiscent because we are constantly dealing with children who are not given the benefit of the doubt,
Yes.
who are constantly
Yes.
adultified,
Yes.
and they're judged because of somebody's perception, which I believe is called bias.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not allowed to realize their full potential because you have older people determining their fate.
Absolutely. And what comes increasingly difficult for me to have like conversations about Black children is that about whether they deserve compassion or not, like why the harm occurred in the first place. And like folks always are justifying, like you said, the keyboard soldiers in the comments, like, oh, it's the
Oh, they
usual
make me so
suspects,
upset.
or people immediately search for reasons to justify the harm, like they
Right.
to excuse like the aggression, and it sends a message that like some children have to earn empathy while others receive it automatically, and we know who receives empathy automatically and who is searching for their humanity amongst the anti-Blackness.
Correct. And that's actually the
We're just
one of the
talking about
slides in
that.
my presentation to the California Department of Social Services tomorrow about Black children should not have to earn empathy.
It's actually word for word within the slideshow we just did.
Absolutely. And is we on the same wavelength because
Yes.
I get so agitated with adults who act like they were never children, that they didn't need grace, that they didn't deserve mercy, that they didn't deserve kindness, fairness, justice, and
They do believe all that. You know, all these things are believed. It's just one common thing. It's just not believed for us.
Yeah.
It's that because I've seen y'all treat each other right. We see
Right.
we treat all in some cases not, but also these. You look at them, man, and the way that stuff goes on, and I'm gonna speak from an aspect of an ex-gamer. In order for us to make ranking games, you got to do certain stuff. And I'm keep watching this, and whether you want to call it Proud Boys, white supremacy, whatever you want to call it, you keep seeing these people and they moving on. What are y'all doing to up y'all ranks? What do they have to do to be such generals, to be such people of power? And if your only war seems to be against us, what are these untold harms that we have been facing?
yeah,
And it comes out in things like in situations like this where, we water. You know what I mean?
because he's a thief. That's
He's a
just what
thief.
they do.
We can't get IDs. Unfair housing, displacement. It's just a plethora of a list that goes on and on and on and on.
Because we're constantly seen in a deficit mind state. Black people all together, media, stories, when they're doing research, right? We're always seen in a deficit mind state. And what I've been kind of looking at as I'm in my master program is how do we start to showcase Black joy? How do we start to showcase our Black babies as Black babies? We have to start to do things to showcase them in a different way. Because from right now, right, TV, our rappers, our people, we're always shown in a deficit mind state. Even when we come back, some of them movies, we loved them. The Boys in the Hoods, the Menace to Societies, but those were really movies putting Black boys in a deficit mind state. We're always looking at people in that mindset. And if I can't save you and be your white savior, then I'm going to kill you. You know what I'm saying? So it's either one or the other. And it's time to start highlighting Black
the blind
joy,
side,
bringing Black brilliance, bringing Black excellence to the forefront. Because if we keep letting them, they're going to constantly show us in the deficit. So then you got other immigrants or whoever coming here to allegedly, I'm scared,
right?
Because he's a gang member. He's this, he's that. Just because he's the way he's dressed, you may have a boy coming from a good household.
Yeah,
parents and everything, but decide I want to put on a white tee today in a LA hat because that's what Kendrick wear or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But because we're constantly seen in this deficit mindset, we constantly perceive our Black boys as adults, our Black women as Black girls as Black women. You know, we constantly see them as gangbangers or this, that, and third, unless you bouncing a basketball, dribbling, throwing a football, rapping on our stages, singing and dancing for us, being buffoonery. But we never really
entertain us
too much of Black excellence displayed.
I will say this though, shout out to us as a people, because we actually have had certain cities and certain times that we do our Black history that we did rise.
Yes.
Now, what I will say about that too is, as we rose and we did do Black excellence and we did have our stages and we was moving, it's one common theme about that too, that who came to make sure that they got in our way as we was reaching ours and getting our banks and our schools together. One person continues to one particular
demographic.
But I'm only saying that to shout out and say we can do that, and we have done it, and our ancestors have, and our people, and we will continue to. We just need one particular.
Well, now it's a lot of folks. It's a lot of folks. It's a lot of folks because they don't want anybody to surpass them. Let's keep it above.
Exactly. Every time
and they're willing to ally up with anybody on it.
Every time we can get something, they take it. Black Wall Street, the Tulsa Race Massacre, all of every time historically. Every time
there's been like nine massacres.
Oh, girl, yeah.
You know, and it's like you can't even keep up. Yeah. You can't even keep up. They went as far as there's this book called The Delectable Negro where they talk about the different ways they used to be cannibal. They used to cannibalize our people. They used to use our babies for alligator bait, but we're the violent ones.
Epstein files is updated.
What in the What
We're
in
the
the
only race that you dropped a bomb on.
in the
You dropped
country?
a bomb
in the country.
on for one house.
What? Yeah.
One,
Not even for a hood of us. You just a bomb.
A bomb.
And y'all approved it. These had to go through. Hey, can we do this
Sanction.
for these people? And they said,
Right.
who in there? Yes, you can for sure do that to them. And they did it.
Chattel
Yeah.
slavery, Jim Crow, convict leasing.
Yeah.
They've always tried to subjugate these people that they knew were special. That's how I'm framing, and that's
Yeah.
my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Absolutely.
And like you said, just to keep that economic power, is to keep that wealth, to keep that power. I'm going to constantly be able to step on y'all, keep my foot on your back, so forth, to be in control.
I think that is, and what you said right there, when we be talking about when black people be upset about certain things, to me, I think
Hurry up and
I
wait.
see people are hurry up and wait. The gaslighting for us. It's like you really gonna act like that was a rock that fell out the sky. Like they will really look at us and be like, so listen, so maybe that happened.
Maybe it didn't happen that way.
It probably did. Did you look at did y'all take a bath today? Did you take a bath? Because if you took a bath, and it'd be like, what are you talking about? We're gonna give you some food stamps, man. A dog, give you a Cadillac.
But keep the men out the home.
They say stuff like,
Oh, yeah.
and if
Yeah.
they can find a
Your
token
family's separate.
to do that.
Yeah, because wealth,
Mm.
when we think about wealth come with a family.
Yeah.
Wealth comes with a
Preach.
family. Wealth comes with something that
Preach
was
what wealth
handed
really
down.
is.
You know what I'm saying? So in order to keep wealth, I have to do these type of things. And then we come back to MLK in the actual speech where he got shot for. He wasn't really talking about race no more. He was going
Poor
into
People's
wealth now.
Campaign.
Yeah, who holds the power of wealth?
Speak, sister.
And that's when he started to be like, okay, it's time to up it. Once we start to think about wealth, then we could see why, they constantly keeping their foot on our neck. We constantly cannot creep up.
And the wealth gap
And
is
the wealth
ridiculous.
gap is ridiculous because you got a lot of blacks that do depends on those they're Democrats because they will give you welfare, Social Security,
Allegedly.
keep those different things, what I'm
Allegedly.
depending on the government. So
But you
that wealth
also
gap
had to agree to
constantly-
keep your man out the house.
yeah.
You
do
have
That
to
was
things.
a requirement. You couldn't
To
receive
remove the
welfare if there was a
covering,
man
which
in the
is-
house.
Yeah.
Spiritually, how things were supposed to be.
And
We
that's
got
how
out
you
of
acquire
alignment.
wealth,
Mhm.
having two people in the household.
I think that this not never gonna stop. As I'm listening to what y'all talking about, this is something I realized too. A certain group is too scared to allow this to happen.
They don't have any choice.
You don't have. I know they don't have a choice, but the fear in them comes of this. You've whipped me down so bad and kept up with your crap for so long, and we're still here. And you're looking at it and you're like, dang, he's still here. What are the chances of you growing old and me taking care of you?
Ooh.
So now that means you must
Well, I
ally
mean,
up
we took
with
care of
another
them as
culture,
babies.
another something else coming over. Yeah, but that ain't going down. So that means they be like, hey, we're gonna be you and your culture. If we're gonna be y'all, gonna be us, and we're gonna be y'all because them for sure not gonna take care of us when we old because
But listen,
they're too scared to take that chance.
Well,
And I actively will raise my hand and say I'm
The
not
first will
truly
become
believe-
last,
I
and the
truly
last will be
believe-
first.
Yeah, we're here because we protect the land.
for sure.
If you get all the black people off the land, then the
Oh.
great wrath will come and I can
Talk
destroy this
to
land.
the people.
And so we are here because we protect the land.
yeah.
But we got to come back if we're going to go spiritual. A lot of
Mhm.
black people, we're the Israelites, right? So
Right.
we complain.
Talk to them, sis.
We're complaining. We don't want to listen.
We in the wilderness.
We don't want to, you know what I'm saying? So God, I'll leave you in the wilderness. But the white people know I got to keep them here to protect the land. So that's why I'm going to enslave them instead of killing them all.
Yeah.
Because the
They could have been deported us to
we
Africa,
protect the
allegedly.
land. We keep the land. But we don't know
Right.
that we protect
We
the land and
sleep.
keep the land. Because a lot of us are, still searching for Africa, searching for all these other dreams too, instead of realizing that the power is in the land that we're that we're in, and we protect it.
Yeah.
But that's another conversation.
But this ain't
for
our
another day,
place. We
right?
supposed to go to where we supposed to be.
You know you talking my talk right now.
So listen, how has patience historically been used to slow down demands for justice?
I figured they figured out a way. They figured out a way to
Patience like a
make
carrot.
take it political. because now it's the 30 day, 60-day, 90-day process.
You gonna wait it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my
Thank you.
parking tickets, City of Sacramento. After that 21 days, telling me to be patient. I need mine back.
Or when they erroneously charge you for something, they say we need 5 to 7 business
to
days
give it back to you.
But didn't I
But
just
they
give it
took
to
it-
you an hour ago?
Yeah, they took it out your account. Yeah, I think patience is just for us to, keep you like a pacifier, keep you pacified. Or I
It's the
can-
carrot. It's the carrot. Just dangling the carrot. How long have they told Black folks to wait for reparations? Like,
400 years.
wait,
And everybody
wait.
got
But
reparations.
now, the folks who
That's us.
did the insurrection on the Capitol are about to
They
about
got
to
'em.
get a
It ain't even
reparations
been
fund.
3 years.
That
They
was
got
quick.
reparations.
That was
Faster
quick.
than we can get a
Did,
verdict.
did you hear what for though? They said you don't understand what they've been through.
Yeah, I
Reparations.
understand what my people have been through after 346 years of chattel slavery.
Isaiah has
Here
something
he
to say
comes.
on
There
that
you
one.
go. Here he
Isaiah has
goes.
something to say on that one. He said, I'm coming off the mic, okay?
But
This
we
is
can't
him.
change the camera, so you're gonna have to.
Come on in. Come on in.
That
Come on
January
in.
6th thing, right? I mean, who cares, man? Let him rot. I don't care.
Let him rot, he said.
Can we tie that to though? Can we tie that to wealth? Like that is another
Yeah, they
form
kept
of
their pockets
wealth,
fat.
like
That's going right
systemic
through their
wealth.
own
That is
pockets.
that is institutionalized
It's just like the
racism.
GI
I'm
Bill.
gonna set you up to set your
Is-
kids up.
Is it the Homestead Act?
Yeah,
What is, all these things were used to infuse their wealth into that community.
Yes.
When you talk about slavery, slaves were passed down from the daughter to the daughters from their daddies.
Mhm.
So when these white women decide to say, oh, well, we didn't have anything, there's a great book, it's called They Were Her Property. And so you hear about the viciousness
Yeah.
of how those women who are the main beneficiaries of DEI,
Yes.
how they owned people, Black people,
Yeah.
how they were brutal and vicious to those people because their husbands was actually attracted to them. Let's keep it a buck.
Come on.
And
Come
then
on.
now in 2026, you got people who are nurses at certain facilities in Ohio that have biracial children that are on the internet calling their children the N-word.
Yeah. Oh,
And
talk
being
about it.
vicious to them. And then
Talk
in the
about it.
comments, you have all these biracial children. I'm going to need my brothers to keep their penises in their pants and out of these pink ladies.
And when you do, check her for calling your son the N-word.
That part.
Yeah, Black
but-
Queens forever. And we have to
Black Queens
always,
forever,
we have
man.
to, we
Black
have
Queens
to
forever, I
remember
see y'all.
too. We have to
That's
remember
Dr.
too that
Umar.
income and wealth are not the same thing, right? Income
Hold on,
and
what
wealth
you
are
say,
not the same thing. Income and wealth are not the same thing, and a lot of folks get that confused.
Yeah.
Like wealth is systemic. Like
Yes.
wealth is,
Yes.
and
Come
wealth was built in the U.S. off of Black enslavement.
That's right.
So
'cause they
we
did
have to
that.
understand that those ties are still strong today. That
Yes.
comes from inherited assets like savings, investments, like business ownership, a reparations fund, or
Inheritances.
capital insurrection or insurrectionists. That is wealth. And so we have had, how long have Black folks had this conversation about reparations? The U.S. is willing to give reparations to everybody except Black people. And that is another denying
Not want us
of
to
wealth.
have wealth.
Hold on. And it gets even deeper because the Black community is the most targeted group in the state of California. We can't get an emergency Stop the Hate fund, but during
No.
COVID, they provided money for our Asian brothers and sisters.
Yes.
Let's be clear,
Yes.
that's what happened.
Yes.
And so when you start to look at, there are some folks who are already automatically greeted with care, compassion, and
Yes.
concern.
We won't
there
let
is the
this happen to you.
other-
Roby.
There's the other group that contains our people
Yes.
that are met with disdain, that are always told that, oh, well, we can't do anything specifically for Black
you.
people. Kamala Harris.
Yes.
We can't do anything specifically
We have
for
to
Black
change
people.
the title and the names.
You know what I mean? Let's be clear. there is not a will to do anything for Black people that fixes their positioning that they were actually subjugated to by the laws and the policies of this country. Let's be
Yes.
clear.
Yes.
Exactly. And this is also
Yeah.
what happens when one group has had generations to accumulate assets while another community has had to overcome generations of barriers to ownership and wealth accumulation.
And we
Like-
can go a step further because they use the labor of our men who they systemically put into prisons to continue to do the labor, because the 14th Amendment says that
Come on,
slavery is
sis.
illegal
Mhm.
unless you are convicted of a crime.
Yes.
And we know that the new
I
Jim
apologize.
Crow is the
Thank you, ma'am.
prison
Thank you, sir.
industrial
Thank you, ma'am.
complex. We know that the new Jim Crow is the prison industrial complex. And there
CIA.
are more Black men enslaved in prisons right now than there were enslaved in the height of slavery in this country. So we
Let's
have
be
to be
clear.
mindful that they have still found a way to enslave and control Black men, and that is through the prison industrial complex. And that is that affects the wealth accumulation and the Black family structure of the community. So we keep tying these, and that builds other people's wealth. The enslavement of Black men incarcerated inside of prisons right now.
And let's go a step further, because this is where the accountability comes in. Our brothers are killing each other. Our young folks are on what they call demon time.
Mhm.
They are wilding out. And there was Julio Fulio out of, I want to say he was killed in
I seen
Miami or
that.
something
Yep,
like
in
that.
Yeah.
Florida,
And that young
somewhere,
person was
Broward County.
convicted, and they's like, oh no, we can use him for labor.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they said
young
it. They
person.
said it clear. Like he's
Yeah.
young. He got lots of
Like-
years left. We can
Yeah.
work him. We can work every inch of muscle he got. We
Work
give him the max, because we gonna work him. We gonna work him.
And we're feeding the system by our behavior.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And we got to get that under control too.
Because
Yeah.
because we are killing each other for them.
Yeah.
We are killing each other for them.
We've-
Oh
we-
yeah,
we
the
bought into
system
the
is
lie,
set
yeah.
up to work exactly how it was designed
Mhm.
to.
And that's what's sad, right? Because a lot of, unfortunately, there are some who are on demon time, but there's a good portion of them that did things that they did because they were in survival because of the lack of wealth in the communities and the
It
opportunities.
ties all
Yes.
back to
So we
systemic
have to-
oppression.
Yep.
It's all intersected.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have
It's
to be
all
clear.
in that circle. It's all in that circle. But there is a lot of things that we need to do inside of our community too.
Absolutely.
And be accountable for it.
sure
Y'all are right.
that we're holding accountable. Parents, we got to get the parents to step up, making sure we loving on our kids, talking to our kids, having conversations with our kids.
And if
helping
we're
them
being
navigate
impatient,
school.
learning the rules to the game so that then we can exploit it. We can get out of here and we can make some noise. We don't always have to protest outside in a group of people. We can start going to some of these city council meetings, these school board meetings,
Yes.
and telling people we're not happy with their representation of us.
Right.
Like there are things that we can do, ways that we can start to ignite the fire under people's butts. Because one thing that we could get if we became organized is a movement on some of these things, but we
Yes.
are so fractured. And then there's some of our people that are for sale that as long as you line their pockets, they'll sit up
as
there,
long-
Al
yes.
Sharpton, and
Kevin Hart.
and tell you to be quiet.
Kevin
they got
Hart.
it. They gonna do this. They gonna
Yeah.
do that.
long
We
as
got to
you give
keep
them
the black
enough
people
money.
under control,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
those are called gatekeepers.
Yes.
We have a few gatekeepers that need to get on out the way too.
Yes.
We've had people who have straight up said to us specifically that when they go into their job, they clock out of their blackness.
Well,
I've heard that on here.
yeah. Or I'm not going to apologize for making money when a apology wasn't required.
No.
Right.
To stop lying was.
Yeah.
You to stop downing another black woman who went through something traumatic, and because you're getting paid, you can't tell the truth.
You
Yeah.
know you know who you are.
You know.
But
Mm.
you know what I would like to see a lot of too, though? Celebrating of one another, not just waiting for events of celebration. I'm seeing black people. I'm seeing this. I'm seeing black people throw events. There's a lot of people, and I'll use
A lot of
events.
I'll use-
Lot of
There's a lot of
shortage.
events going on. No shortage of events.
And I've seen black people allow other black people to speak down on events when we should have just maybe you're doing something in your event that I'm not going to, or maybe I'm not even able to make your event, but that does not make that event bad. Hey, that's a good event over there too. And bro over there doing his thing too, and sis doing their thing. Says something, what's up with y'all? We might not be able to make it, but they just as powerful as BYOP over here. They show up and Mama Coco and Melissa. I want to feel like I'm a boss talking to another boss.
Yeah.
I can't just be, oh, I'm the only boss on the floor. And us as a people, I would like to see us. Let's promote each other some more. We got stuff going on within each other.
There's
In
a
some
lack
places.
of community in some places, and sometimes I feel like, because what you're saying is different events and like downing each other's events. Sometimes I feel like internally, I don't know a better word to say this, but I want to say sometimes we feel like intimidated by each other instead of helping support each other. When someone else is succeeding, I see myself succeeding too. If you're a Black person, we shouldn't feel intimidated by other people's success. We should be, you're
It's
doing
just
this,
not
and
your
it's
turn yet.
Right.
Mhm.
The
We can celebrate
internal
everybody.
jealousy is an issue, and I feel like it bleeds into a lot of other areas as well.
We are biggest haters. We are
Yeah.
biggest haters. But what
We
Issa
are
Rae
biggest
say,
haters.
I'm rooting for everybody Black. Like
Yeah.
if you're a Black person is winning, that means that I'm winning too. Like,
I see you, sis.
I want to see that, and I want to counsel Black people to this too. Don't be so offensive sometimes when we can't hook up, because I'm seeing that too. Some people are being offended when they. I might have called you, or maybe I might have been in the wrong about sending an email late. I don't take no accountability of, dang, I could have hooked up with trying to send an email, man. But stuff like that happens, and they like, well, forget them. No, man, we just didn't get to hook up on that. On the next one, I hook up with you, Coco. I see you. I didn't miss a call from you before. I didn't miss a text from you before. It don't mean F you. And on the next one, we'll catch up.
Right.
We are constantly policing each other in our own community. I think too, when it comes to some of the community stuff, I'm gonna tie it back to the system, right? Because now you come into the nonprofit game. I'm just gonna do nonprofits for instance, and we all are chasing the same funding and money that comes to them, which kind of make this competitive state start to come up, right? Oh, I could do that. I could do the gang violence. I could do this.
I could do that better
I could
than
do
them.
that. Instead of just saying, no, I think this organization do that better. Let them get the funding. It's like it comes back to this rat wheel they got us on in the nonprofit gang too,
On
still
purpose.
chasing. So it still comes back to that same thing that keeps us divided, that keeps us hating on each other. It still comes back because we're chasing that same funding, right? So it's so like, I just do my own because I want to be in control.
Right.
Everybody wants to be in control. And then as Black people, we start to want what white people have.
Absolutely.
And why we started to come to integration, right? Because I didn't want to get on the Black buses. I want to ride the white buses. I didn't want to do this. I want to, you know what I'm saying? And so we start to take on that same mentality as the master.
Right.
So it's a lot of different things we start to comb back through. But just to bring it back to this, I want us to talk about too, the thing about bringing immigrants into our community and watching them get ahead of us instead of giving us what we need. It's coming back to that when I think about this situation, how the Asians was able to come into the communities, get the stores, get the things, right? We're seeing that happen now with the Afghans here in Sacramento. They're coming into the community, and not to put the blame on the immigrants. It's just something that always happened.
It's noticing. It's something that's being noticed.
Right. So you're constantly bringing in immigrants, and they're able to get ahead of people that still are due reparations in this.
Can I add one thing to what you're saying? Because I hear exactly what you're saying, but I want to paint the picture just a little bit more in. I'm watching somebody who came after me, and it's not the fact that I'm watching them advance, because like we said, we're congratulators of you. What we're watching is you came after and you was giving all the benefits and the help
You don't
and the
know about the
resources
struggle.
People have
that
fought for.
not individually as a person, nor us as a group, nor can I get on the phone right now and figure out how can I obtain the resource that you actually have yourself.
And I may have A1 credit. I might have my things together, but can I come into a Del Paso Heights and just buy a liquor store?
No. I mean, and then I think there's neighborhood politics too that may preclude you from doing that if you're from a certain area too. Like we have to think of so many different things before we put ourselves out there. A lot of times, say if, for instance, if you're going and you're trying to buy a house, you have to put so much money down, right? A lot of us do not have an influx of cash. We don't have unless 9 times out of 10, somebody left you some money through a life insurance policy. That's normally how we come into home ownership, because that is the one time that we have an influx of money that is set aside and we can do something with it.
Mhm.
Aside from that, there are different things that you have to think about. You have to worry about your credit score.
Yep.
Many of us have been struggling with that
Yes.
because we holding down,
Yep.
multiple
Some of us came into
children
with a deficit credit score.
Your job is not one of those high earning jobs, so you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. Then you have to talk about inflation, but yet and still you see these groups of folks who come in here, they don't have any English, right? And that's not saying that they can't speak their own language. What I'm saying is they come in speaking a total different language, and they're able to move systems because they have other people who are over here who've been watching and learning the system, and they can then pass on the information. That's one thing that we need to get better about.
Yes.
Number two, not only do they humble themselves enough to come and take advantage of the free programs that are at their disposal, they'll come in there with their brand new car and make sure you see it. So we have to be clear, like nobody is saying they shouldn't have these things. Nobody is saying they shouldn't be here, because the fact of the matter is my people put their bodies on the line for the Immigration Act of 1965 or 66, one of those. They put their bodies on the line so that people could come here and pursue what we call now the American dream. The only people who can't pursue the American dream and are in a constant state of a nightmare are Black Americans, and we have to be very clear about that. Because there are some African immigrants who come down here, come over here and look down at us too. They have a bigger positioning on our wealth gap than we do as people who built this country. And we have to be clear about that.
Yes.
It's not about who, what, when, where, how, why, what. We're saying, oh, it's cool. Y'all come on in here, but get out the way while I pursue my stuff too.
And don't target and kill our little boys
or girls.
Our girls.
The picture of what you said is so drastic too, because a person can come over here from another country without a degree.
Let me help you too before you finish that. They come over here from another country, but they are in their country some of the wealthiest people. They don't come over here poor. Let's be clear.
But either side, the system that you're talking about them moving is the system. What's hurtful for us as a people is they're navigating and moving through systems that we was never even allowed to know about. We don't even have to do. You told us go to school to get this system that they talking about. You said get this degree and this and this and this, and then when we get the degree, you move it. Much less
the pendulum.
Right, but these people, they come right over here, and all of a sudden you know about
degrees. Some of them do.
Is your degree worth something in California over here?
Well, they doctors in our Kaiser system.
They're doctors, nurses.
Yeah.
Lyft drivers.
But it's just who deserves it and who doesn't. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing folks who are fleeing from other countries come over here and be beneficiaries of vouchers, of food stamp cards, of housing,
stipends,
car allowances. We're seeing that.
Yes.
And we have to be honest about that, because if they were to put that amount of energy into our community, we would see so much more from our folks. But even despite everything that we are seeing and we are experiencing, we still remain one of the most educated groups.
Yes.
We still find reasons to be joyous. We still see you looking at our men. We see they fine. We see y'all. We see y'all. We see you.
We know they fine.
And we're going to continue to shine.
That's right. And we're going to take care of them, and they're going to come on back home and take care of us. I believe it, because that is their responsibility. And we have to start putting that responsibility where it's supposed to be. And women, we got to get out the way. When these men come home and they ready to work, we get out the way. Stop stopping them because you jealous. Yeah, you thought they was fine too when they got out. You thought they was fine. There's other women that think they're fine. They do.
Yes. We definitely got to get to we got to get back to Black family. In order for anything to change in the Black community, we got to get back to Black family.
That's important.
So it's important to our men to respect us and us to respect our men.
And when they are coming home and they are getting in the face of our boys, we need to get out the way. We don't know what we're doing. we can birth boys, we can guide them, but it's
But
going
you
to take
can't
a
raise no man.
to show them what men are supposed to do.
Yeah.
And by the way, we do have a group up here called Black Boys Support Network. We have a bunch of fabulous men ready to stand in the gap for your children. So if you're looking for a place for your boy to land, or if you're interested in becoming a mentor, Mr. Fox right here, Mr. Fox is looking for mentors. And he's looking for people who need some more support because he's ready for that. And if you're a parent and you're looking for more support, we have our parent support network that meets at the same time as our boys. So if you're looking for a soft place to be there. Come on down. Mondays and Wednesdays, 5:30 to 7. Additionally, we have our community food pantry that's here for our families. Take advantage of the resource.
Yes.
Also on Wednesdays, 5:30 to 7. And before we get out of here, I would be remiss if I did not tell you about Celebration Weekend. Celebration Weekend is coming your way June 19th through the 21st. 3 parties, 3 days, different aspects. You know, we're going to be on State Farms the first night, in Elk Grove Park the second day for a family fun day. Bring your fam. And then we are going to celebrate the class of 2026 at the Black Grad. And we have Dr. Noble coming. He is a cardiothoracic heart surgeon. And he is going to be our keynote speaker. So we want you there. We want your babies there. And we got a few scholarships to give out too. So if you see them, forward them. We want our babies resourced. We want our families fed. We want our families loved on. And we want to create community right here with Black Youth Leadership Project and our SAYS family and all the other families. We ain't got no time to hate. There's too much work to do.
Yes.
So with that, we're going to hit y'all with the peace sign. It is hot in this room and we are out because I'm about to melt. We'll see y'all soon. Peace.
Peace.